Cav Cop here. Whether hunting hogs or defending the homeland, the shotgun is probably one of the best weapons you can use for either purpose. Something I want to talk about today is storing shotgun shells. 25, 30 years ago, these little Tacstar type ones are kind of cool, but nowadays, shotgun cards have become kind of popular. Let's go inside and discuss more about the shotgun cards. Alright, so at one time, side saddle mount was the basic way a lot of people mounted extra shells to their shotguns, and they're kind of neat. They hold things on. The Tacstar ones, the first ones to come out, they covered up where the serial number was, so if you're going to a place where you need to check a serial number or something like that, you're not going to be able to read the serial number on it. Could be pros to it, could be cons to it, but they mount basically through a bolt that attaches it directly to the shotgun. They're kind of affixed to it. I think Mesa Tactical and GG&G are probably the makers of some of the best side saddle mounts you can put on, and they have a lot of options and stuff like that. But the shotgun cards are kind of neat because these are affixed. They can be a hassle when you put them into your gun safe or storage or something like that, or even trying to put them into a scabbard. The shotgun cards that we're going to talk about today, attached by a piece of Velcro that goes on them. And the Velcro that goes on them is flat and smooth. It provides a little bit of protection to the outside of it, and it's not a permanent fixture like these side saddles are. So basically you end up getting the Velcro that goes on it that you have to attach, and I'll do a video going over some of the Velcro stuff and everything. But today I want to focus more on the holders themselves, the cards themselves. But basically this allows you to store it easier. It doesn't get damaged or dinged if it hits up against something, and it'll fit into a scabbard or something else if you need that. So it's something that can come on and off as you need to, and we'll go over it a little bit. When I was looking at shotgun cards, I noticed that there were a few different types out on the market. I ended up buying two basic styles of them. One was the Elite Spanker or Amazon China Special, where they all kind of look the same. They tend to have a nylon strap here for pulling it off. The other ones I saw were the S-Tac ones. The S-Tac has a 550 loop on here, and it costs a little bit more, but I wanted to see how the Chinese versions work versus the S-Tac ones that I believe are made in the United States. I'm not 100% sure, but basically these are the cheaper ones you can get. They're all kind of generic. If you look on Amazon or other places, they're all basically similar to the way they're set up, the elastic, the pull tabs. The S-Tac seemed to be a lot better quality. Looking at some reviews online, they were good. The one I didn't buy that I may buy, and if any of you have any experience with it, let me know. But Midway USA has one that's a little bit similar to the S-Tacs, but it's their own brand one. I was going to purchase that, and I kind of held off on it. I may do it in the future, but theirs looks a little bit more promising. I decided to go out and do some testing with these, and over the last couple of weeks I've been playing around, messing with them, going out to the range and firing a few rounds and everything, and I'll share with you some of my thoughts here. The generic Chinese ones that I found, they tend to hold 5 rounds. The S-Tac comes with 5, 6, and the 7 rounds, which 7 rounds is pretty good for a lot of the higher capacity shotguns that people have and everything. To me, between 5 and 6 is what I want, especially on some of my shorter shotguns. 5 rounds would be plenty. The 5 rounds from the S-Tac is a little bit shorter than the 6 rounds, or the 5 rounds from the Chinese one, where the 6 rounds from the S-Tac is basically the same length as the other ones. So there's a bit more spacing or gaps the way the Chinese ones are done. The S-Tacs are really nice and tight together. The S-Tacs tend to have, it'll show up in this one maybe, there's a brown strip of kind of like a rubberized grit that kind of helps hold it. On these other ones I noticed they're black, but it does have some like friction stuff in there so that when you push the cards in, it holds them real nice and tight. The elastic on these is really tight, holds the shells really good. On these Amazon ones, they're a little bit flimsier, so they're not as stiff and tight as these are. These are really well done. Amazon ones are a little more flimsy, and like I said, they're kind of spaced out a bit more. nothing inside the Amazon ones to help hold them. And the S-Tack ones are pretty stiff overall as far as trying to flex them or bend them or do anything with them. Where the Amazon ones are a bit thinner and have a little bit more flex to them. So I kind of knew off the bat that I like the S-Tacks a little bit better, but I decided I need to load them with some shells, take them to a range, do some more testing on them, and that's basically what I did, and I'll share my results here in a little bit, but let me give you some more information on these. Alright, so like I said, you can distinguish these two from the way the pull tabs are. Normally most people put these towards the front of the shotgun and everything, and they attach to the back via the Velcro that they have. And what I did is I loaded some actual shotgun shell rounds in, and I also loaded these dummy rounds in so I could do a little bit of testing to see how well they hold up and everything. Both of them will have a slight curve to them when you put it in, but the cheaper ones tend to have a lot more curve to them, and they're very flexible. If you go to pick them up, they're going to fold all the way in. With the S-Tacks, when you hold them up, they really don't flip that much. They're rather sturdy. Once you set them down on the Velcro, they tend to hold pretty good. With these ones here, there's a little bit more flex to them, and there's some issues. When I was shooting with them, the rounds would kind of slide around a bit. These are real easy to push in and out. On the S-Tacks, they're in there pretty stiff. The S-Tacks can at times actually be kind of hard to pull out, but over time I'll have to see how it holds up. But the elastic's a lot better. If I were designing a card like this, I would probably make these not as short as the Asian ones are done, but maybe just a little bit shorter just because of how well they're made and how they have that friction thing in there. But they hold the shells really good, whether upside down or right side up, under recoil with a shorter barrel firearm or shotgun, they do really well. The cheaper Amazon ones I had, when I shot them, they would slide out of place. I could fire a full magazine load in my smaller shotguns doing about 5 rounds or so, and I wouldn't lose any rounds, but they would slide out. If I did multiple shootings, rounds would end up falling out, and a couple times I even had the card fall off because of the way the waves are, and it doesn't match up and it doesn't hold as well to the Velcro and everything, where these tend to be a little bit flatter and there's more surface when they get pushed down to hold on to. But I did a little test out at the range. My camera kind of messed up, so I didn't get everything as good as I wanted it to. But overall, I can say that the S-Tacks are really good. The Asian knockoffs really aren't, but if you're looking for a budget thing, these can work for a temporary fixture. They do fit into AR-15 style magazines, so if you want to put these in magazine holders and stuff like that, you can. The thing that I like, though, is that on like the Mossberg 590 and some of the Remingtons, you can put 7 rounds in the shell holders if you get the larger ones. Where on these, a lot of times you're limited to just having 5 rounds. Maybe there's some that have 6. But you get more options that I found with the S-Tack ones, and they tend to hold up under real-world conditions, shooting and everything. I kind of do hope these loosen up a bit, or I wish they were just a little bit smaller, but like I said, I definitely would take these over the Amazon ones. The Amazon ones, to me, are just so-so. If you're on a budget and you want to mess with it, you can go ahead and spend your money on it. But if you want to invest in something that's quality, I would definitely go with the S-Tacks. Alright, I got the Mossberg Shockwave, the Defender Tactical adapter thing for mini shells, and then I got one of the Amazon shell cards on here with some rounds, and I've got a few mini shells and shells in here. So just going to be a test of the Mossberg using a 1-point sling on it. Let's see how this thing works. Shell card stayed on. A couple rounds kind of loosened up on the generic one. Get rid of this one. This right here is the S-Tack tactical one. The S-Tack, we're going to put this one on, see how well it does. Mount them upside down. Load it up again. See how it works with the S-Tacks facing downward. Get back here a bit. S-Tacs are actually on here pretty good overall. Let me put it on safe. But it's holding the whole shotgun up pretty well from the card holders. This one right here is the generic Amazon ones. It's really not holding with these ones right here. Try this on the generic Amazon one. Barely holding on to it. Alright, Pachmayr grip works great. Defender Tactical safety thing works great. Defender Tactical mini shell adapter works pretty good. S-Tac Tactical shotgun cards hold like glue. Amazon and others, I don't think they're any good. The S-Tac Tactical cards, they're the ones to go with if you want shotgun cards that really stick. Shockwave's a really nice shotgun. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Cav Cop out.